From News Channel 4, this is Reporters Beat, Fire Safety.
Welcome to our special presentation on fire safety. I'm Carol Ann Riddell. Fire, it doesn't discriminate. All of us are potentially victims. Every year, thousands die and many more are injured in residential fires. Take a look behind me. We're here at the Nassau County Fire Service Academy, a training center for firefighters. What you see is a controlled fire set to demonstrate how quickly flames can take over a room. In a matter of moments, the temperature above my head will be about 1,200 degrees. The furniture here will be unrecognizable. Smoke thickens with each passing second. The soot is so heavy, firefighters advised me to wear this jumpsuit. It's terrifying to imagine the impact of a fire like this in a typical family home. Over the next half hour, we'll have details on how you can protect your family, and we'll show you the shocking results of tests we conducted to see how children respond in a fire emergency. But first, the sobering statistics on how fire affects families every day.
When my husband opened this door right here, the huge, thick, black ball of smoke just hit him.
Gisela Ramos feels lucky to be alive. In the early morning hours of December 27th, fire raced through her Crown Heights home. She and her husband rushed to get their children, parents, and holiday house guests out of the smoke-filled apartment.
We just quickly got everyone out. It was a rush moment. We just said, come on quickly, there's a fire, we gotta get out of here, we gotta get out of here. And we kept yelling, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go.
In this case, everyone escaped, but many are not so fortunate. According to the United States Fire Administration, on average, an estimated 4,025 people die and more than 21,000 are injured each year as a result of fire. And many of those deaths, on average 82%, occur in homes. Smoke detectors can improve your odds of surviving a fire. The National Fire Protection Association says an average of 70% of home fire deaths between 1999 and 2001 occurred in homes that had no smoke alarms or in which none of the alarms sounded. But as you will hear over the next half hour, smoke alarms are just one part of the safety equation. Experts say families should have clear escape plans, plans that are practiced.
You can have a plan. If you don't practice the plan, it's not going to work when you're in a panic situation.
Gisela believes remaining calm helped her family members escape, and though they lost years of accumulated possessions, she says they still have what matters most.
Although we lost everything and we have to start over again, it is all material and we're all alive. And I'm just holding on to that, just knowing that we were all able to make it out alive.
Sadly, not everyone makes it out alive when fire strikes suddenly. Take a look behind me. We're here at the Nassau County Fire Service Academy. The fire we showed you just moments ago has devoured the test room. Obviously, this is a controlled situation, but imagine the impact in your home. Would your family be able to get out safely? How would your children respond if a smoke alarm went off in the middle of the night? We asked those questions of two local families, and the answers surprised all of us. A cold winter night, the Diaz children are sleeping soundly, more soundly than their parents ever imagined.
It's scary. Definitely is a scary thing.
Scary because, as Debbie Diaz and her husband Michael discovered, their children may not wake up to the sound of their smoke detectors.
You gotta get up, okay?
Working with the Nassau County Fire Marshal's office, we tested the theory that children can easily sleep through the shrill beeping of home smoke detectors. We began by meeting with the whole family. We told the children we would be conducting a fire drill at some point soon, though we didn't tell them specifically when.
We're going to pretend that there's a fire in the house and see if everybody knows what to do to be safe.
Several days later, we returned. Fire marshals trigger the home smoke detectors using fake, non-toxic smoke. Firefighters from the Massapequa Fire Department stand outside, monitoring the bedroom windows in case any of the children panic. Smoke fills the hallways and bedrooms. The detectors quickly sound. Night vision cameras roll in the children's bedrooms. What happened next startled all of us. At minute 1, 8-year-old Travis is sound asleep. Minute 2, Minute 3, minute 4, the room is shrouded in smoke. At minute 5, dangerously late, his parents enter and physically try to rouse him.
Travis, look. Travis, don't you hear the fire alarms? Travis. Started shaking him and shaking him. no reaction, never sat up.
Equally as troubling, 7-year-old Blake's reaction. He wakes up immediately when the alarm begins. Then Blake walks to his brother's bed and sees Travis sleeping. He returns to his own bed and lies there. Once again, he gets out of his bed and goes over to his brother. After getting out of bed for a third time, Blake climbs back into his bed. Smoke has engulfed the room. Clearly looking frightened, Blake covers his eyes, burying his face in his hands.
What could have happened if it was a real fire? That's what ran through my mind.
Only one of the Diaz's 5 children actually woke up and responded to the smoke detector. 10-year-old Dara jumped out of bed, grabbed her baby sister, and headed downstairs. Their other child, 3-year-old Drew, who was sleeping downstairs further away from the detectors that sounded, never woke up during the commotion. We went back and watched the videotape with the Diaz family. It was difficult for Debbie and Michael to see how their children reacted in a situation that could be life-threatening.
I'm getting all teary-eyed watching them not get up. And now I'm getting like scared that God forbid it was real, they're not getting up.
I think I need double security now. Yeah, I need more smoke alarms. I would say, I think next to their ears.
The problem here is twofold. First of all, the children not waking up, and second, their reactions when and if they did. Even Dara, who did get up and out, never called to her siblings or parents, missing the opportunity to alert others. When you're talking about 3 to 4 minutes before a child responds, is that too long? Is that too late?
It's far too late. In the study that we just saw here, the kids would not have waken up at all. Unfortunately, my belief is that they would have been discovered by firefighters in their beds.
A terrifying thought, but as we know, a tragic possibility in a fast-moving fire. To give you a sense of the devastation fire can cause, in about 5 minutes, we saw a small flame grow and devour this entire test room. And this is a concrete structure built to sustain fire. Imagine the impact in a home filled with materials. Up next, another family takes the fire safety test, this time with a twist. Will they pass? Also, an in-depth look at what you can do to protect your family and the latest technologies that could save lives.
You're watching Reporters Beat, Fire Safety with Carol Ann Riddell.
Welcome back. We already showed you one family's experience during a late-night fire drill. Now we introduce you to another family. In this case, we fully expected the children would, at the very least, wake up during the test. Here's what we found. The smoke alarm in Don and Debbie Spilkey's home is louder than what you'd find in many houses. It includes a horn, and that horn is right outside the children's bedrooms. So when we decided to conduct this test, we were convinced the kids would wake up. We were wrong.
Shocked. Definitely shocked because of the sound and the way this alarm sounds in the house. It's very loud.
Once again working with the Nassau County Fire Marshal's office, and in this case, the Great Neck Alert Fire Company, we triggered the home smoke detector using fake smoke. A minute after the alarm starts, the hallway upstairs is quickly filling with smoke, but none of the 4 children have left their bedrooms. Watch 6-year-old Rebecca. Her eyes flutter within 30 seconds of the alarm sounding. She then covers her ears and seems to wake up briefly, but the sound doesn't register. She rolls over, goes back to sleep, and she stays that way at minute 2, minute 3, minute 4, as smoke fills the room. In fact, she never gets out of bed during the entire test. A similar response from 3-year-old Adina. She stirs initially, but goes back to sleep and stays in bed. The older Spilkey children did wake up eventually. 9-year-old Abby was still sleeping peacefully 3 minutes after the alarm sounded. After 4 minutes, she's out of bed. 12-year-old Jonathan repeatedly got out and then back into bed. Watch closely. He wakes up, looks around the room, puts his head back down and covers his ears. About a minute and a half after the alarm started, Jonathan gets out of bed, walks around his room, gets back in bed, and climbs out again. Then back in one more time. He finally gets up, wanders around the room, and heads to the bathroom 3 minutes after the alarm sounded.
You went to the bathroom?
Yeah.
The house was full of smoke and the fire alarm's going off and you went to the bathroom?
We returned to view the tape with the Spilkey family.
What do you think of that?
Jonathan was surprised to see his reaction to the alarm. He'd been sleeping so soundly, he didn't seem to remember what happened.
I did not think that I would get up, go back to bed, get up, walk around my room, and then go to the bathroom, not even go downstairs.
As it was for the Diaz parents, Debbie and Don Spilkey found it hard to watch the images of their children.
Scary and unbelievable. I never would have thought that the kids would have so completely slept through everything. And worse, get up and then go back to sleep.
It was very scary that they didn't wake up. It didn't even seem to bother them.
Also scary, what Jonathan told us the night of the drill when we asked what he would do in an actual fire.
I'd probably go downstairs, and then if no one was down there, I'd probably go up to my parents' room. And if no one was there, then I'd probably just leave the house.
So you'd go back upstairs first?
Right.
Not the right answer. Going back upstairs could be a deadly mistake. Like many parents, the Spilkeys say they hope they would be the ones to wake their children in a fire. But experts point out there's no guarantee adults will be able to get to kids in time. And what we think our children know and what they'll actually do in an emergency may be very different.
Precious minutes, seconds count when the fire is doubling in size every minute. You have to react immediately. There can be no time wasted contemplating what to do. It has to be a plan. It has to be practiced. It has to be rehearsed.
The Spilkeys edge of their property, a location outside their home where everyone would go in the event of an actual fire. But after seeing the results of the tests we conducted, the Spilkeys say they know they need to practice. Of course, we didn't replicate exactly what a fire would feel like, the toxicity of the smoke, the intensity of the heat. But the children's reactions during our tests were chilling reminders that perhaps we're not as prepared as we believe. We can't emphasize enough, smoke alarms can save lives, but all of us have to know what to do when those alarms sound. Still to come, my colleague Dr. Max Gomez looks at the science behind this issue. Why is it children may not always respond to alarms? And what can parents do? And specific tips for fire safety in your home.
You're watching Reporters Beat, Fire Safety with Carol Ann Riddell.
Welcome back. There's no question smoke detectors can save lives. In fact, experts say homes with smoke alarms have a death rate about 40 to 50% less than the rate in homes without smoke alarms. Put simply, having a smoke detector can cut your chances of dying in a fire nearly in half. But as we've shown you, there are serious questions about whether children will wake up to the sound of a smoke detector. My colleague, Dr. Max Gomez, takes a look at the science behind that concern and what's being done about it.
9-year-old Jack Howells has been asleep for a couple of hours. Watch his reaction as an old-fashioned alarm clock goes off inches from his head. Not even a fluttering eyelid. The next morning...
Would you have heard it?
No, probably not.
Because why?
Because I'm a tight sleeper.
Nearly all kids are tight sleepers like Jack. When sleep experts analyze brainwaves of sleeping children, they find distinct differences between them and adults. Seems kids tend to spend much more of their sleeping hours in deep sleep than adults, what doctors call Delta 3 and 4 sleep stages.
If a kid is in the stage 3 and 4 of sleep, which predominates in the first third of the night, and it will be difficult to wake up the child
with any sort of
noise.
But sleeping that soundly can put a child's life at risk if they don't wake up to a smoke or carbon monoxide alarm. National fire statistics show that preschoolers have a fire death rate nearly double the national average. That doesn't necessarily mean that kids die as a direct result of not waking to smoke alarms, but it's a startling enough statistic that the Consumer Product Safety Commission is actively studying the issue.
What is good for an adult may not be good for a child, and the agency is really looking into whether or not smoke alarms can be more effective for a broader percent of the population.
The League for the Hard of Hearing says the hearing impaired are also at risk and that the two issues overlap.
If you look at the figure of 30 million people in the United States that are walking around with a hearing loss, a good percentage of those people are going to be parents. So not only do you have the issue of the children not waking up to the smoke alarm, but you have the issue of parents not waking up and being able to wake up their children.
The League for the Hard of Hearing has a couple of different technologies they suggest to people who are hearing impaired to help rouse them from their sleep during a fire. Now, this may also be applicable to children or other hard-to-rouse people. First one is a visual stimulus that has a strobe light like this one. The other one is a physical stimulus, a vibrating stimulus that works like this. Obviously, this wouldn't be bouncing around on a desktop. You put this under your mattress. When the smoke alarm goes off, the vibration wakes you from your sleep. Another approach is this device.
Jonathan, there's a fire in the house.
An alarm that records a parent's voice telling their child to wake up, under the theory that a child may respond better to mom or dad. But according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, there are no scientific studies to show that these type alarms are actually any more effective at waking children than conventional smoke alarms. But while new technologies are being developed, experts say your best defense is still a functioning smoke alarm, one less than 10 years old with a fresh battery.
More than half of home fire deaths occur between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. when most people are sleeping. And though working smoke detectors can save lives, just having them isn't enough. You need a fire escape plan, and you need to practice it. Up next, solutions. I'll show you what you need to know to make a fire escape plan for your family. Also, if you can't get out, what experts say you can do until rescuers can get to you.
You're watching Reporters Beat, Fire Safety with Carol Ann Riddell.
Welcome back. We're here in New York City at the FDNY Fire Zone, an educational center for children. This room is designed to look as if it's been ravaged by fire. It's here where kids learn lessons that could one day save their lives. But are you familiar with those lessons? If a fire were to happen, would you know what to do? And would your children?
Here we go, out the door.
Racing through the streets of Manhattan to get to a fire.
Oh no, we're stuck in traffic. No. Stay low and go. Come on, crawl. Stay low and go.
Crawling through simulated smoke to safety.
I'm already choking from the smoke.
Listening to the words of fire survivors. It's all part of the lessons that could one day save the lives of these first graders. You're watching a class at the FDNY's Fire Zone, where children learn the danger of fire and what they can do to stay safe.
If you play with fire with your hands, you might get burned and then you die. When there's a fire, you have to get out low and stay low.
We've compiled a list of tips on everything from preventing fires to making an escape plan for your family. If you miss any of the details we're about to give you, just wait until the end of the program and we'll tell you how to find more information. So, for starters, fire prevention. Keep matches, lighters, and candles away from children. Don't leave candles unattended. Never sleep with candles burning. Remove electrical cords from under rugs and behind radiators. Never nail or staple the cord to walls or moldings. Don't overload outlets or extension cords. Never put a portable space heater near drapes, furniture, bedding, or other flammable materials. Remove all materials on or near the stove that could catch fire, for example, papers or dishcloths. Never leave the stove unattended. Conduct a safety inspection of potential fire hazards and eliminate them. Smoke detectors. Here's what you need to know. Install an alarm on every level, including the basement. Place smoke alarms within 15 feet of all sleeping areas for added safety in every room where people sleep. Test all smoke alarms at least once a month. Replace batteries at least twice a year. Chirping alarms are warnings that batteries are low. Never paint over smoke alarms. Clean alarms regularly by dusting or vacuuming. And replace alarms at least every 10 years. Escaping a fire. You have to come up with a plan based on the specifics of your home, but keep these pointers in mind. Plan alternate escape routes in case your normal route is blocked by fire or smoke. Never use elevators. Feel the doorway to check for heat before you leave a room. Keep exits and stairways clear of clutter. Practice fire drills in daylight and in the dark. Make sure you can quickly open all security bars on windows and doors in case of a fire. Keep fire escape windows clear of all obstructions. And agree on a meeting place outside your home so you'll know everyone is out safely. Apartment building. Should you stay or should you go if fire breaks out? First of all, determine what type of construction your building is. If you're unsure, check with your building management. If you live in a non-fireproof building, it's usually safer to leave immediately. If you live in a fireproof building, experts say it's usually safer to stay inside rather than entering smoke-filled hallways, especially if the fire is above your apartment. Keep your door closed. Seal the door with duct tape or wet sheets and towels. Seal ventilators and other openings where smoke can enter. Turn off air conditioners. Unless flames or smoke are coming from below, open your windows a few inches at the top or bottom. Call the fire department with your specific location. If the fire is in your apartment, regardless of the construction type, get everyone out. Stay low as you go. Use your safest, most accessible exit. Close all doors as you leave. If using an interior stairway, alert others by knocking on doors. Do not use the elevator, and call 911 from a safe location. If you're trapped by fire in your home, get to a room as far from the fire as possible, preferably a room with a window. Close the door to the room you are in to prevent spread of fire. Cover your mouth if you can with a wet cloth and stay low. Try to block openings where smoke can enter, for example, a towel at the door. If you can't get out, call the fire department with specifics of your location. And some final tips worth repeating. If your clothes or hair ever catch fire, remember to stop, drop, and roll. If you see smoke, remember to get low and go. Help children remember, don't hide, get outside. Stay outside, don't go back in. And early notification can make all the difference. Call 911. Another piece of advice we've all heard, do your best to stay calm. Though it out myself during this project, I was working near a controlled fire set to demonstrate how quickly flames can consume a room.
I'm nervous. I'm scared.
Okay, look at me.
Even with firefighters standing right next to me, I felt a sense of panic take over. The fear in a real fire must be overwhelming, but clear thinking can mean the difference between surviving and not. And remember, fire can happen to anyone, but all of us can try to prevent it.
Carelessness kills. My belief is mindfulness saves lives. So if we think about the things we're going to do before we do them, chances are we can protect our families a lot better.
The lessons the children learned here at the Fire Zone may seem basic, but could save your life. Of course, your fire escape plan will depend on the specifics of your home. Still, the underlying message is the same for all of us. Know what to do in a fire and practice that with your entire family. There are lots of resources on fire safety available. Check out our website, WNBC.com, for more details. And if you don't have access to the internet, send us a self-addressed envelope to Fire Safety Program, WNBC TV, 30 Rockefeller Plaza, 7th floor, New York, New York, 10112. We'll get the information to you. We hope you found the last half hour useful and informative. On behalf of all of us at WNBC, thanks for watching.